All right, here we go again. Republicans know something that the mainstream media doesn't know, which is that they have to cheat to win. So they're cheating again, and of course, in of all places, Kansas, where they cheat the most. Chris Kobach, who is running for governor, is also the one that is handling their elections. I bet that's not a problem. Anyway, he's the guy who claims he cares about voter fraud and then does voter suppression all throughout the country, but specifically in Kansas. So what's he doing now? Well, there's one major city in Kansas that is majority Latino, and that's of all places, Dodge City. As in, we got to get the hell out of Dodge. So it's an old cowboy town. They used to have cattle there. They now have, unfortunately, these giant warehouses where they slaughter the cows, etc. But they have a lot of Latinos there that are working in that area. So the city is 60% Latino. Now, normally, it turns out that you need about one polling place for every 1,200 registered voters. In Dodge City, they have 13,000 registered voters, but only one polling place. So they should have about 10 or 11. Instead, they have one. Is it in the Latino part of town? Of course not. No way. They put it next to literally a country club in the whitest part of town. But then they realized this time around, Latinos were still able to get to that section of town. So they decided they were going to remove the only polling station in Dodge City. In fact, they were going to get the polling station the hell out of Dodge. So not only did they move it out of the city, they moved it a mile from the nearest bus stop out of the city, okay? So that means that if you don't have a car, and a lot of people who are working poor, working middle class, especially if they live close to the factories and the warehouses, which a lot of them do, don't even own cars. So they'd have to take a bus and then walk a mile. So that is a way of doing voter suppression to make sure Latinos don't vote in Kansas. Chris Kobach and the Republicans know that Latinos vote for Democrats more often than they vote for Republicans. Now, plenty of those Latinos would vote for Republicans anyway, but less than would vote for Democrats. So they think, great, let's take their vote away. Democracy, who cares? Let's make sure that we crush their dreams and aspirations and they do not participate in our democracy. Make it as difficult as possible. Now, do you think it's an accident that they moved the only polling station in the one city in Kansas that is majority Latino? There are other smaller cities, but the one relatively major city in Kansas that's majority Latino? Of course, that's not a coincidence. They do that on purpose. They do it all the time. And unfortunately, our media often calls it 50-50. It ain't 50-50. Voter ID laws are preposterous in terms of actual people going and voting twice or voting when they're not supposed to. That is a minuscule problem in America, almost non-existent. But voter suppression is done to millions of people across the country. And that is what the Republicans do as a regular course because they don't believe in our democracy and they believe that if we have a fair vote, they cannot win. So they discriminate systematically. And that's exactly what Chris Kobach and the Kansas Republican Party is all about. Whatever you do, do not let them get away with it. Go vote. The election's in about 2 weeks. Make them pay a price.